Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Life Upgrade Podcast Show, and this is your host, Fulfillment Obi. Today we'll be talking about Airborne. Do you know that 60% of people who ever became successful do not last up to 5 years, or at least 5 years? They either fall, crash, or become total failures. Why? To know more, we need to get into the episode. So stick around with me to the end of the episode to know more and to be upgraded.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
On last week's episode, I talked about defying your gravity, and I want to believe or assume that everyone has the ability and the capacity to fly now. If you've not listened to that episode, just go back and listen to it. It will really change your life. But just because you can go up doesn't mean that you will stay up. And staying up is much more a bigger work than going up. So let's dive into some stuff that will help us stay up or continuously be airborne. The first question is this: what materials are you made of? The material you're made of determines if you stay in flight or crash. An airplane built with substandard materials will certainly or is likely to crash. Look at some materials that keeps us airborne. Number one is discipline. This is the ability to place the most important stuff as your top priority. It's either you study or go for a party. But discipline will help you to choose to study, because that will give you a much more better result or better outcome in life. So discipline is the key to a strong character and is the foundation to commitment and being responsible. If you take the flight without being disciplined, then be ready for a crash. Number two is character. This tells us about your behavior towards yourself, your work, and other people. A bad character is likely to act like a repellent. It will keep people away from you, it will give you a bad reputation, and it will cause you to crash. So take a look at some people who have bad character, but they are extremely talented, but they have bad character. At the end of the day, they end up making a bad show of themselves, and they crash, they fall, and they become total failures because of their bad character. So there are some qualities of good character, which include honesty, trustworthiness, and integrity. These things will help you to build a very wonderful character. And if you have a good character and you are airborne, I assure you that you will stay in flight. You will continuously keep flying. Number three is tenacity, which is the ability to stay unbending, rigorous, and relentless during tough time. During your flight, you might experience bad weather, but if you aren't well built, you will crash. So I want to advise you to listen to my previous episode where I talk about outside the storm. So if you are unable to go through stormy seasons of life, then you will certainly crash, because when you are flying, when you are up there, when you are successful, you're going to face a lot of challenges. People are going to talk about you. You're going to be criticized. People are going to hate you. Some people are going to try to pull you down. So you have to be tenacious. And if you don't have the ability to stay tenacious and relentless during tough times, you will certainly crash. Number four is your sense of focus. When people are starting off to be successful, it is easy for them to lose focus and be carried away by grandiosity, a feeling that you're unfallible. This will make you lose touch with reality and make you lose focus on stuff that are really important, and you will get into things that wasn't meant for you or align with your value or your purpose. We see this happen a lot in the entertainment industry. People signing into partnership or deals that will create more problem for them in the future will shift their focus just because it will get them fame and money. If you lose focus during your flight, you might end up in a destination where it will become impossible for you to navigate your airplane or your life, and that will cause you to crash. So focus is so important if you be airborne. If you're going to stay in flight, if you're going to keep flying, if you're going to keep soaring, if you're going to keep making impact, if you're going to keep changing lives and doing incredible stuff, you must never lose your sense of focus. You must never lose the things that got you to the place of success. You must never lose your purpose or your values, because if you lose your focus, you will crash. You're going to go down, and it will be very difficult for you to get back up. Lastly, Who is your pilot? Who is in charge of your life? Is it you? Is it God? Is it your parents? Or is it someone you trust, your friend, your spouse? Who is in charge of your life? Anyone who is in charge of your life have the ability to navigate your life to success or to destruction. So if you're already in flight, whoever is your pilot is very, very important. The best thing to do as human is to give the wheel of your life to someone who is experienced or an experienced pilot. If you try to do this on your own, you might ruin your life because you don't know everything about your life. So I strongly suggest that you give your life to God. Give Jesus the wheel of your life. Like the popular song we say, Jesus take the wheel. Allow him to take the wheel of your life. Allow him to pilot the affairs of your life so that you will continuously be airborne and you will stay in flight. If God is to take charge over your life, it will be very difficult for you to fail, to fall into temptation that will crash you, to fall into a situation that will make you fail. So if you continuously want to stay airborne, you want to be someone who will continuously soar in the air. You don't want to be like those celebrities who are up today and tomorrow they are down, who use years of their life building fame and reputation only to crash it in one day. Then give your life to God. He will help you oversee everything about your life, and before a storm, a situation that will crash your life will come to you, he will protect you and give you an inspiration or idea that will help you to maneuver your way out of that situation. Well, talking about the Christian faith, if you want to grow in God, want to grow in faith, and want to get more understanding about Christianity, to grow your spiritual life to another level, check out the Living Flames of Fire podcast. Everything about spirituality and faith is talked about on that podcast episode. And most importantly, we have a YouTube channel called the Living Flames of Fire, where we release Christian content that will help you become a better person and grow spiritually and grow deeper in the knowledge of Christ. So check out the Living Flames of Fire podcast and the Living Flames of Fire YouTube channel. If you get a lot from this podcast, why not share to other people so they can also benefit from this. If you go through the description of this podcast, you'll see a couple of links there, a link for you to leave a donation so we can keep this podcast going, a link there where you can sponsor a product, a service. We have a lot of listeners from about 26 plus countries. So if you want to sponsor a product or a service, just reach out to us. Our email will also be in the description below. And if you have any question, you want to reach out to us, check out the voice message link or reach out to us through our email. Whatever you need to know about what we do, it will be in the description, and just check it out. So thank you so much for listening, and until next week, stay empowered and stay upgraded.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.